Good morning everybody, welcome back to Cilinix Crypto, or welcome to the channel if you're new, and welcome to this new video on Hedera. Wanted to do a full update. Last time I covered this was when we just hit support right here, I think on Wednesday. What we said then is that, strong support, market still looks pretty good, so it's most likely we're going to bounce. But the bounce so far has been a bit weak, right? I mean, we hit 19.15 cents. Decent. That's about from the support level itself, about a 5-6% move, which you can make some money on. But ultimately we capped at the 7-day rolling VWAP, which is now accepting as resistance. That's bad news. And then what we're also seeing, so that's technically I would say that's weakness. And then what we're seeing as well, and this is more market wide, is not only that we're losing momentum, which is normal over the course of a Saturday, of course. I mean, usually the volume and open interest drop down, but right now we're seeing quite a lot of positions being closed across the market. For Hedera as well, you can see the open interest since yesterday evening has been dropping down quite significantly. So that means that we're most likely going to see a continuation of that over the course of today, maybe into tomorrow as well. And that's not great news given the fact that we already had a weak bounce, right? Because if you zoom out for Hedera here, and excuse that the chart is very messy, I know it is, but it's still intelligible for me. But I can understand if you say, well, what's going on here, especially with all those VWAPs. But essentially, I mean, we capped at the yearly rolling VWAP. We still have the 90-day rolling VWAP above us, so bullish. On the higher time frames, we're almost. I mean, if we can get a break above 20 cents here, that would be great. Is that a possibility? Yes, but at this point of time, I don't see that happening. Structurally, what it very much depends on is if we're going to be able to hold our main support level between 18 and 17.5 cents, right? And that's also what we're seeing right now with the de-risking. What's most likely to happen is that we're going to test that level. And then the main question is going to be, well, can we actually hold that level, yes or no? There's no real specific strength coming into Hedera right now, like we had, for example, last week Wednesday, last week Friday. Then we saw a lot of volume relatively to the volume before coming for Hbar. Right now, that's not really true. A lot of altcoins are actually suffering quite a bit as well. Bitcoin dominance is actually rallying. So therefore, it's a bit of a difficult question to answer whether we're going to hold support or yes or no. Now, for now, my final verdict is going to be yes. And that's for two main reasons. And that is, first of all, that I do still think the market as a whole, and then I'm specifically looking at Bitcoin, is still bullish. I still think Bitcoin has a pretty major buffer below it, which it could drop down into and still technically be bullish structurally. So that means that's even though the Bitcoin dominance is quite high, that still matters for Hedera as well. And then technically, like so far, the initial reaction we had to this level between 18 and 17.5 cents was very strong, right? So even though we did not see a follow-up, even though we did not see a lot of volume pushing the price up to 20 cents after, that doesn't mean that makes the initial reaction much weaker. No, initial reaction was good, right? So therefore, do I think long term we can hold this level? If we don't see specific momentum coming into Hedera, no, right? So ultimately we can still drop down below that, but I think short term we will be able to hold this, and then it depends on that momentum. Do we see some sort of momentum? Do we see a breakout here above 18.9, which is an intraday resistance level? Then we can stay up here, consolidate, and potentially continue higher. If not, eventually we will drop down back into the balance right here towards 17 and 16.5 cents. Those are my thoughts. I think that's what you need to know regarding Hedera. So if you do have any questions, let me know. But for now, thank you for watching. Take care and bye.